year we're covering around 250 great rabbis, and over here on the date of Yutet Sivan, 19th of Sivan, it's a hilula of a great rabbi from Izmir in Turkey. His name was Rabbi Shlomo Hakim, one of the great rabbis. He passed away actually in the year, I believe, 1838 on Yutet Sivan. I'm not too sure exactly the date when he was born, but he was a really, really great rabbi. He was, let's now explore within regards to the history of the great Turkish rabbi. So actually, he married Rabbanit Vida. That was his wife's name, and he studied with great rabbis, including Rabbi Yitzchak Ma'il, Rabbi Raphael Yosef Hazan, and Rabbi Shlomo Halevi. Really great rabbis. Rabbi Yosef Hazan, especially being a halachic judge and one of the great sages of Izmir also. Rabbi Shlomo Halevi, I believe, was at the Sefer of Lev Shlomo. He was a judge, actually, in the court of Rabbi Raphael Ashkenazi. And he was a really great rabbi. He was an author of Torah literature, and very much I would recommend everyone to look about it. In fact, Rabbi Avram Pelashi actually testified about the greatness of Rabbi Shlomo Hakim, called him actually his master, and was privileged to be in his generation, and about the greatness of his modesty and the greatness of the Torah within regards to him. Speaking I'll say in Hebrew, what he said, Shezachar gadol Adonenu harav mar kishisha hamelech Shlomo zechet tzadik kadosh livracha liot rosh al haaretz rabba yachid bedoro eno ela al godel tzniuto shaya oto bepalech hashtika. Really, really greatest compliments you could say. He was he helped within regards to raising charity funds within regards to the city, also within the great city of Izmir. And was a prominent position inside the city itself. Actually, Rabbi Chaim Pelaji, the great rabbi, probably one of the most famous Turkish rabbis, actually mentions him a lot in many of the great Torah books they did. Also, there was another rabbi, Rabbi Chaim Benyamin Pons Rimoli, in his book, the Petach Hadvir, actually talks about him, mentions about the great Chacham also. He himself was the main Rav of Turkey, and also one of the Pasek Halacha. And the Petach Hadvir was really, really a great book. And he was actually one of the Talmidim was Chaim Biza also, which he was actually the author himself, Chaim Ad Ha'olam, another great working. And what's actually interesting is that later on he served as rabbi of the El Ghazi community, where he gave famous sermons and drashot, especially during the main Shabbats of the year respectively, especially the Shabbat Shuvah, especially Shabbat HaGadol, which is just for Pesach, and gave really, really great sermons to the Kilat of the Talmudei Torahs over there respectively. There was a Shabbat Halbasha, which is one of the Shabbats which is celebrated, I believe, in Greece and also in Turkey, a very, very famous Shabbat also, which maybe we should dedicate another video to within regards to that also. And what's interesting, I believe on Shabbat Zahor, he actually gave another great one to the Portuguese residents of Turkey also in that city. Also, there was a prominent, I believe, Portuguese community, Jewish community over there also, if I am not mistaken. And much can be related about the great Turkish rabbis. Also, he, I think that was very famous, basically, especially the drashot he gave on the Shabbat HaGadol itself, respectively. But I think there was one year where there was a plague that broke out in Izmir, and that actually was reported over very strongly, and that prevented him from giving that great drasha on that specific Shabbat Hagadol itself. And I believe now we can actually explore more within regards to Rabbi and his history with regards to, he passed away, as I said before, in Yutet Sivan, I believe in the year 1838. So we're talking about 186 years ago from the time of recording. At his funeral, great rabbis actually spoke and gave a great hesped within regards to him, including Rabbi Chaim Pelaji, Rav Michael Yaakov Yisrael, who was also another great rabbi, who was, I believe, the rabbi of Rhodos. I think that's in modern day Greece, if I'm not mistaken. Rabbi Rachamim Aryeh Abraham HaKohen Araish, also, who was another great rabbi, also spoke about him, who was a Dayan and Darshan, and great rabbi also in Mizrah. Also Rabbi Chaim Biza or Bija, as we can pronounce him, who was also the rabbi of Tira, Rabbi Yoshua Avram Crispin, also another great rabbi who was another great darshan, and was a great dayan in Izmir. Rav Nisim Yaakov Mizrahi, who was actually the author of the book, the Sefer Baruch Mevanim, and also his son, Rabbi Shmuel Hakim, also another great rabbi there. So who was his children or his descendants? He had many great descendants. Let's look at a few of them. His Chatan was Rabbi David Sid, who was, I believe, the shochet of the city itself. He was actually passed away in the Taf Kuf Tzadik Aleph. And Chodesh Tammuz, his son, Rabbi Shlomo Hakim, who we just mentioned, was a dayan in Izmir at the time period of Rabbi Chaim Pelaji. Also one of his grandsons, Rabbi Avram David Hakim, who was also another great rabbi, also inside the city respectively, and assisted in printing the book, the Malachot. Shlomo, for his grandfather, also for the great Chacham itself. Now let's explore some of the books for him that he actually wrote, including the Mla'chet Shlomo, which was Chidushim on the Mishnah Torah, I think based on the Rambam, the Kiseh Shlomo also, which was Drushim on the 4 Shabbatot of the year, which we talked about. His great sermons on those 4 Shabbat, grandiose Shabbats, respectively, Shabbat Shuvah, the Shabbat Basha, Shabbat HaGadol, and Shabbat Kala. Also there was, I believe, also just to add on within regards to him, within regards to, those were, I believe, the 2 main books also within regards to him. And I think there were sermons of his within regards to marriage and different obituaries that was also printed on his behalf also, if I'm not mistaken, also. I did Sisilula here on Yud Tet Sivan. This is now just nearly 2 weeks after the festival of Shavuot, the one, the Shalosh Regalim, respectively. And please don't forget to light candles in the great rabbi's memory. His 2 famous books, just to repeat one more time, Kiseh Shlomo, Mla'chet Shlomo. Also, just look at some of the rabbis of his. He had really, really great rabbis. Just one more time, again, Rabbi Yitzchak Ma'ayan, Rabbi Raphael Yosef Chazan, and Rabbi Shlomo Halevi also. So please, everyone, light candles in memory, and don't forget to share the videos, like the videos, and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.